Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode.
Life with the Sloans.
Life with the Sloans. Now, look, we tried to get on Instagram.
The Grams ain't instant today. I don't know what's going on.
The Grams not instant today. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I got kicked off the live. I don't know if they tried to.
All that stuff. You can't be putting that stuff
I ain't
out
putting
there.
nothing out there anyway. I don't know what they trying to tell
Unreleased
me.
content and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But this is what I need you to do. If you are watching with us today on YouTube, leave a comment so we can know that you're there.
Yes.
In the comment section below, and make sure that you share this feed with somebody. And if you know what's going on with Instagram, just tell me, because I have no idea. Like, it's throwing me.
It's all right, babe. Don't worry about it. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Thank you.
You're good. I like that red. How you got that red matching the red?
I always got the red. You know, I had red. 5 inch red, but
I got my red too. You know what I mean?
I'm seeing red. Oh, you always got the red cup.
Got my red
some
too.
red dots or something.
You know what I mean?
Picture.
Indeed. Good brother Michael K. Williams.
And let me tell you, so he made me this tea. Thank you. He be forgetting sometimes.
I feel a joke coming in.
But he gonna give me the broke cup.
First of all,
what is this?
We got 3 kids.
He gave me the broke cup.
These are my Father's Day mugs that I cherish so much. And they decided to break the middle of the handle. How? I don't know. I'm not even gonna ask. Anyway, so what are we talking about today?
We talking about relationships.
Relationship.
The thing we know how to talk about the best. No, not relationship grace. Well, yeah, you do need grace in relationships, especially.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Legitimate facts.
Hey, Auntie Kim. Look, Auntie Kim, he gave me the broke cup. Ain't that wrong?
Tell the kids stop breaking my cups. Then we got fully intact cups.
We over here drinking out of half cups, half this, half that.
We got 2 full green teas, though.
Yeah, I got 2 full green teas in here. Ain't that nice? Got my little green tea.
That's it. I loaned you my cup.
My
cup runneth over.
This was supposed to be
my cup runneth over.
This was supposed.
My cup runneth over. I will
this
not.
Cup runneth broke.
You will not let that cup pass from you.
I bet not for a fall and break the rest of it. Then I won't be able to drink.
Or if it was cold, you could have one of these.
Yeah, whatever.
Which is red as well.
Pretty much. So.
Shout out to Popeyes for the sweet tea. Go ahead, continue.
That's crack tea. Anyway, y'all know I ain't approved none of that. Y'all know me. I'm a health person. I ain't approved none of that Popeyes tea. So
I'm gonna go pour another cup.
Oh Lord. Well, as long as you up the insurance policy, all is well. Let me stop.
Oh, I hear you though. Lord Jesus. Don't do that.
Not that I want y'all here, but I'm just saying. Leave me right. Look.
So we talking about relationships today?
Yes, relationships. So last week, if you weren't here last week, you can check out the live that we had. We talked about our version of how we feel you balance marriage and ministry.
Yeah.
We have an interesting type of relationship. I'm the one that's more in the front here.
I don't like to be in the front.
In this relationship. But Alfred had I'm going to call it a trial sermon, even though it wasn't. Everybody said it was his trial sermon. So Alfred's a deacon at the church where we serve at, and he did preach last week. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, it was pretty good. So this week, what I would like to talk about in relationships is what happens when couples argue. Which, if you're normal, that's gonna happen.
Hopefully.
And we're going to share some stories. We're going to share how we got through those types of things and kind of give you some tips on how to best how to best swim when you have those disagreements in your relationships.
Navigate.
Yeah, how to navigate. There you go. Look, that's why I got you. Yeah, how to do that, because the purpose is y'all a team.
Yeah.
Y'all a team. So teams have arguments sometimes, but we can't really do much if we argue too much. Go ahead. Let's go.
So we when we first got married, well, actually before we got married, they recommended our counselors.
He was arguing.
We had a lot of sessions, a lot of counseling sessions before we got married.
Wait, disclaimer. We didn't need a session. Let's make that clear. This was sessions in preparation for marriage. No, we didn't need no sessions. It wasn't like it. Look, if it's starting off like that for you in the dating scene, so it wasn't like that. We were doing prerequisites. Yeah, getting ready for marriage. Hey, Shonda.
See, the issue was we both understood that marriage wasn't something we had practiced before. So there were certain things that we wanted to,
before
parenthood too. So marriage was something that we wanted to make sure we were successful at. And we know that in the multitude of counsel that there's safety. So what we decided to do before we got married was we set some time apart for speaking with each one of our parents, first and foremost, together and also separately.
They've had long marriages. They've had
30 plus years.
Yeah. And they seem to be happy.
Yeah.
That we know. Yeah.
As far as we can tell. And then we had some independent counseling as well. So it wasn't anything that was just like, oh, you need to save XYZ, you need to do, find out what certain things she likes, financially. It wasn't any of that stuff. It was the real, where the rubber meets the road conversations.
Some of it was.
So yeah, there was a couple sessions that kind of were more interesting. Talking about
fancy cars and Christian don't ride fancy cars. I don't know where that came in. But anyway, but I had my comeback. I was like, well, God want me to have better than I think. So I know if I want a Mercedes, then he want me to have Bentley. That's what he wants me to.
That's it.
I already know. So yeah, I got the strange looks. But anyway, go ahead. What?
So we decided, well, one of the counseling sessions, they recommended a book called Marriage on the Rock.
Right.
And that was one of the books that we started reading. I think together we both started reading that. And then also the 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. I think this was we only had a men's version and a women's version at the time.
I think that's all you would need. I don't think you would need anything.
No, there's like 5. There's like 5 or 6 different versions. There's versions for kids. There's versions for.
We ain't had no kids that one.
Well, those are the books that
men and women pretty much, yeah.
So on the relationship side, we chose to go into this with our eyes open to try to be able to work together and figure out our ways through some of the problems. So I think one of the biggest challenges in marriage is obviously financial arguments.
Well, we're talking about the arguments.
Yeah, arguments, financial arguments.
Yeah, them financial arguments, they sometimes be a little cray-cray.
Financials are literally the highest reason for divorce. It's not infidelity. It's not, lack of resources or anything of that nature. It's financial. Mm-hmm. So that tells us that this is an area we got to spend more time on together, and then in addition to that, making sure that there's not a divide between us as far as our communication. So I'm talking about some of the ways.
Ways of what?
Ways that we helped. We started trying to work through the communication stuff.
Oh yeah. So here was one. So we would have arguments. I can't say that I did this, but I remember you doing this. Don't you get up and leave with the red cup? This ain't the red table. This ain't Jada's red table. Look. Anyway, but we would have arguments, and this one right here, because I think we're both have that, like, this is my point type of thing. But but all the women out there know we always can last longer than the men, because they need that today.
When you say last longer, you talking about fussing or what you talking about?
We can last longer, like we be good for a minute. We be good for a minute. They know what I'm talking about. Y'all can't last that long without the what. But anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't you leave from the show. Did you just leave from the show? You are knocking Jordans over. Anyway, he coming back. But and don't be getting no ice. Here you go. They can't really last that long. But y'all know what I'm talking about. In an argument, because after a while you walk past them and they start looking at your little assets, all the things they like, and then they start trying to be nice to you again. But anyway, so we getting to the point. We didn't put a time limit on our disagreements. We would in the beginning, unhealthy. Yeah, that's unhealthy.
Very unhealthy.
In the beginning, we would disagree, and the person would get their space, or the other person would try to be like, "You ain't getting your space. I want to solve this now," or whatever. So one tip is, if you're having an disagreement, put a time factor that you both agree on. Yeah. It should really be in the same day, because there's a scripture in the Bible that says, "Don't let the sun go down on your anger." Mm-hmm. So you really shouldn't wait till the next day.
Sometimes the sun's already set. So
yeah, well, the sunset, that's a little different, but but the point is, you should sit down with the person and be like, "Look, I need some time, I need some space." They should respect that, hopefully. And you say a time on when y'all gonna come back and resolve it. Because if you don't, what's gonna happen is the next couple of days it starts lingering, starts festering, and whatever, and y'all trying to get your way. So yeah.
Not only that, during the time when you have kind of had some downtime or some time to yourself, what it does is it gives room for the enemy, because the enemy, he always tries to accuse. So
Who's the enemy?
Not your spouse.
Yeah, parents.
Not your spouse. The enemy in and of itself.
It's whomever need to be that day.
Whoever the entity is that tries to come between the unity that you guys are building. So in some cases, it could be, a friend saying you could do better, or it could be a coworker, or it could be, a parent in some cases, or it could be, it just could be a host of different things. But anybody that's trying to reinforce division, that is a person we'll just call the enemy. And what happens is when you have that downtime, then the enemy or enemies begin to, blame or try to sow, discord or confusion.
Try to break y'all up. Try to cause y'all not to be one, but 1 + 1 equals 2. Not 1 + 1 equals 1. I know that was a little different. That was a little different math, but it's holy math.
It's that complex math.
It's holy math.
That
yeah.
Compound numbers round up. So
1 × 1 = 1. That's better for y'all. But really, it's 1 + 1. Okay.
You good? You sure?
No, I'm good.
What you got in your cup?
Little math lessons.
Is that green tea? Or you got something else straight in there?
I got nothing else in my cup.
All right. So what the benefit of setting a specific time is you put yourself on a limit where you can say, regardless of how I feel or what's going on, we're going to resolve this. And sometimes that means just agreeing to disagree. Other times it means that, one person concedes or both people concedes. But at the end of the day, you both are still together and working towards it. So, the financial aspect of it, the biggest arguments that typically, I think any marriage.
Finances is number one, because that's like a number one divorce reason.
Facts.
You got marry somebody with crazy habits, or two people that they come in a relationship with not much, and then it's like a struggle uphill, or I don't know, so many things. Or two people who are well established and had a really bad business deal or something. Or whatever. It's a lot of different reasons.
But the purpose in any relationship is to make sure that you're able to be fruitful. And that doesn't, by fruitful, I mean not necessarily having children, but by fruitful, it means that whatever it is that you guys are building, that other people can draw nourishment from it. That's really what it comes down to. Because if you're out there cheating and she's out there cheating, the only thing you really can do is basically show them how to cheat. That's not the purpose of a relationship. The purpose of a relationship is to build together, to build this, this kingdom of Sloan together.
But you can't really speak from that side.
Yeah.
And I always tell people this. People always say what they're going to do when somebody do something. You don't know what you're going to do. You can say what you're going to do. I know. Yeah, you can say all of that. But if you're not in that situation, you don't know. You really don't know. So we ain't even going to speak on that.
The strap.
He said get the strap.
Straight like that.
You can do whatever you want. Look. You don't know what you would do. You really don't know what you would do in a lot of things.
Disclaimer.
You know what you should do sometimes, but you don't know what you're going to do.
Well, we've seen it a lot. We've seen the ups and downs of
the separate bank accounts.
Separate bank accounts.
Which I'm in agreement with separate bank accounts. I know, actually, I was taught in my counseling that we shouldn't have separate bank accounts, but I'm in agreement with separate bank accounts if you guys know and have access to each other's accounts and it's not a secret.
Yeah, there's no secret.
Because you do have some people who are married to people who have, I'm gonna call it crack habits. Like they basically they spend well, but they do not. They ain't gonna be nothing left in your account after they finish spending. So yeah, that's
true. But the other part too is, as
and they have one account that they just take from, that they keep take, and then let the other account.
Well, what happens is when you're building together, there's a different sight or different vision that men have versus women, and that's not
break it down.
That's not necessarily positive or negative. It's just a difference in perspective. It's not one's higher than the other or anything. It's just different. It's like, if you're looking at a mountain range from south and she's looking at a mountain range from north or east and west. It's the same mountain range. You're getting to the same goal, but it's a different viewpoint. One might have a slight advantage, whereas another might not, depending on, lighting and things like that. But the purpose of it is, even in the difference of vision, you guys are still looking at the same thing. So as long as you're able to accomplish that,
if you are
investing together and building that thing, whatever that thing is, that's it.
Yeah, if you are doing that.
But then we got to talk about like the other aspects of relationships, like not just husband and wife.
But we're talking about the disagreements. Like, how do you the tips on from the disagreements? So what?
Yeah.
So
But
what's your tip about the financial disagreement? I mean, I gave one was if you have a partner who is not great with money, one, you should teach them, because you can't say that you can do it all the time, whether it's the wife or the husband. What if you pass off the scene? Then they're stuck and not able to do anything.
Well, the other part too is that, and I posted on this earlier, there's a lot of situations where people end up passing off the scenes like she referenced. And financially, not just as far as income, but as far as management, they don't see eye to eye. So when you have, as an example, somebody that was wealthy, a benefactor, passed off the scene, and the inheritance and all of the assets and everything fell to the benefactor's spouse, who had zero experience in managing money. And so what ends up happening is this particular person enlisted help outside of the family, and the help that person enlisted actually depleted most of the funds for their own personal gain. But this particular spouse, and I'm not referencing anybody in particular, but this particular spouse that had gotten the entire fortune, if that's the term I can use, ended up basically squandering it before the children could even get their inheritance because they trusted the wrong person. So if the husband had educated the wife in a more suitable way to be able to make sure she was able to manage and not only manage, but understand all of the ins and outs of how people can siphon money out of accounts or make things disappear, and how to be able to trace them, and all those different things that he knew as a business person that she wasn't privy to. And so what happens is, in the aspect of marriage and building, both of you have different skill sets.
Nobody ain't calling you.
No, nobody's calling.
Oh, okay. But be Jesus.
In marriage, you both have different viewpoints of expenses. My wife is very, very good at management.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll be managing later on tonight. But I hate the management aspect of it. I enjoy the money making.
You hate it?
I hate it strongly. I hate paying people for stuff that I don't think I should be paying for, but I got to. So
you can pay some people.
I mean, it is what it is. You're going to pay somebody regardless.
Yeah, pretty much.
Either you're going to pay the fee up front, or you're going to pay for ignorance. So,
I'd rather just do like I do.
Yep. One of the benefits she has is she is very, very good at managing money. She knows how to see beyond just interest rates and beyond just what you can see as far as what's on paper.
You got to maximize your money.
Maximizing whatever comes in, whether that's from my side or whether that's from her side or whatever, or the businesses or any of that stuff.
Right.
And so the benefit is, when you have a spouse like that does that and does it well, let them do it. But the other side, let them do it.
Oh. I'm recording.
That's fine. I'll let you do it. I'll let you do a lot of things.
Whatever, anyway.
But the other part is,
just
because you have the management side, it doesn't necessarily mean that you see every purchase or every asset as an asset. Right. So as an example, one of the things that we started off was our children's business with the Power Wheels, LES Customs. That was something that in the beginning, she didn't really see the business side of it. And it wasn't because, to be 100%, I didn't explain the business side of it to her.
All right, I'm going to put the Instagram on. I figured it out.
That's fine.
Good. They're listening.
I'm watching.
No, they're listening.
Oh, my bad.
I'll start.
Sorry, all the goodness. So basically what happened was, as we as a couple began to build out this brand for the children, we were able to see that there was some other ways that we could attack it. So, first thing she started saying was, "Yo, why are you buying all of these toys? Like, our kids don't need no more toys. They got enough."
Well,
and I'm like, well, it's not just for that. So fast forward anyway, all the time we did the money, after multiple arguments about buying Power Wheels and why they need all of this stuff, we came down to our kids' first sponsored event. And, we were able to show more than 60 children and give them the opportunity to spend time riding on Power Wheels and enjoying an asset that they never had as a child.
Right.
And we both were blessed that our parents bought us Power Wheels for, when we were young. Matter of fact, I still have the one that I actually rode on when I was a kid. And I'm not going into stories.
Yeah, what happened to you? What you do?
I was a stunt rider when I was a kid. Decided I could jump over a retention wall on a 12 volt. Didn't quite work out as well as I thought. And actually all three of our kids have the daredevil spirit. So the benefit, I say all that, is on the relational side, when you're communicating in a different vision or different light, the benefit for one person may not be seen by the other person.
Right.
And so after it was all said and done, we were able to, like I said, with over 60 children, we were able to have them be able to spend several hours riding on vehicles that they actually didn't even own. And so our kids got to see the fruit of the investment that mommy and daddy had made. Mm-hmm. And granted, most of the vehicles that were there, they were not paid. We didn't pay the amount that it costs when you just go to the store and buy it. And so I say all that to say, when you're building relationship wise, one person's viewpoint versus another person's viewpoint is very, very different. She sees, looks as an investment. I haven't been in a barbershop in 4 years.
Yeah, but you don't see looks as an investment?
Well, you see looks as an investment. She does more investment on her appearance than what I typically.
Not just that. A whole bunch of things. Equipment, creative type stuff.
Yeah, I was
techie stuff.
You go ahead. What else you investing in? Go ahead. Tell on yourself.
Piano. Whatever, man.
Tell on yourself. Nothing. Go ahead.
I ain't doing nothing.
No, you do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, this stuff, but it brings things back all the time,
That is exactly my point.
It is not just not doing anything.
That is exactly my point. Your viewpoint of what brings back value is contingent on how you view value. So in many relationships, what happens is a lot of times people view their opinion and their point over the relationship. And they tend to put the value of their point here.
Oh, you mean over the relationship?
Of the relationship here.
Oh, yeah, no, that ain't good.
Can't be there. So one of the things that we've consciously made the decision to do is we value our relationship here and anything else here. Whether that's investment or whether that has to do with, whatever other arguments that might potentially come up. All right. So,
all right. So if you guys have any other questions while we're
looking good.
Thank you.
I like that red.
For those who are just popping in, hey Priscilla.
Hey.
Thank you. We're talking about how to resolve arguments.
Yes.
Tips on how to resolve arguments. I'm trying to think of one more that we'll talk about, and then we can go to the next thing. But what is one of the other arguments? I would say we did finances. What was the second one we did?
Investment.
Right, investment.
Yeah.
And then the third argument would be what?
Family.
I know I don't want to say that one.
That's the truth.
I was trying to skip over that.
That's the truth. That's the biggest one.
Okay, so what about it?
You want to skip over it? Well, why you want to skip over it?
Because it's like a sensitive area for people,
Well, it's family. So here's the challenge. And I'm gonna just be frank.
Okay, I'll be Lisa. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, frankly speaking,
and I'll speak as Lisa. Go ahead.
A lot of times people don't know their boundaries until they cross them. And so a lot of times,
or you let people cross them.
Well, whether you let them or not, whether you let them or not, a lot of times people don't know until they crossed it.
Okay.
And so the challenge is how to deal with that respectfully and not cause was it not dissension? What's the word? A rift in the family.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So
okay, for instance, this is personal. It's okay, right?
I don't know what you about to talk about.
I'm about to talk about them washing beating clothes on rocks. You know what I'm talking about.
Bruh.
All right, so
gosh, yo.
I don't remember what year this was when we got married. We sitting at his parents' house. Look, all the views went up. Everybody like, oh shucks, she about to drop. I'm about to drop it now. Look. So we sit at the table and his dad said, His dad said something. Okay, first of all, before his dad said something, he said, "See, because because I was talking about a hotel, and I said I ain't staying in a hotel with no gray towels. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't staying in a hotel with no itchy comforters. Come on, give me some love in the comments if y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't nobody want to stay in none of that. So, I said if you're gonna send me to a hotel, it need to be 4-star and up. Hey, I said don't send me nowhere if it ain't 4-star and up. Hey, cousin. Look, don't send me nowhere that ain't 4-star and up because I'm not staying there. I ain't gonna be itching. I ain't gonna be looking around, seeing if something crawling on me. I don't do that life, okay? That's not what I do. I said, so if you're gonna send me somewhere, you send me correct. So they were like, oh, that's bougie. I said, well, then I will be bougie. so then after that statement came this statement, which was, I told you to marry an African woman so she could beat your clothes on rocks. And what was your reply?
My reply was, I don't want nobody beating my clothes on.
Wrong reply. You're supposed to be saying, I marry who I'm supposed to marry. Look, who I'm supposed to marry, not who I'm supposed to marry. Who I'm supposed to marry.
That was her. Listen.
And I said it since he didn't say it. I was like, yeah, okay, try me.
Listen,
tried it.
And then turned around and the whole ride home was fussing at me.
That's right. You didn't have my back. That poor response. Talking about, I don't want my clothes beat on right. Oh, how you beat the clothes? That's all you got out that whole statement?
First of all.
And I'm black. Yeah, I'm black. I know I'm black. Yeah, but that ain't the point. That's not what he meant. Okay, he was trying to come at me, and I'm all light skinned and everything.
Anyway.
He was trying to come at me. No, not having it.
So
still love him. Still love him now. Still love him though because
she sat there and chewed me out for 45, 45 minutes.
You ain't even defend my honor.
And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Why do I need to defend you? You're my decision. Like, what's there to defend?
That's what you were supposed to say. That was not in the card. You were supposed to give that response at the table. That's my decision.
Listen, are you still hurt?
No.
You're not hurt?
I know. I sound like I am, right? But I'm not.
Come here.
Okay.
Okay. There you go. That's what you needed right there. It's okay.
Next time you do it at the table, though, okay?
Yeah.
No, that was like so long ago. But
sound like yesterday, right?
Well, look, I gotta let them know.
Look, at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is she felt sensitive about an area that I did not necessarily.
That's like what if you was at my parents would do this, by the way, because they know better. But look, if I was at the table and it was like, I told you to marry a Puerto Rican, then you would have had the whole chain. And I'm Puerto Rican, so I can say this. You would have had the whole chain of stores. Blah, blah, blah. What would you? And if my response was, I ain't want no chain of stores. That's exactly what you sounded like.
I would see my difference is
no. That's what you sound like. You know. You get it now.
My response versus your response
is
slightly different.
You get the point though.
But I get your point.
You get the point.
I got your point when you said it. When you said it then too.
Why you would say it then?
I ain't say it then because I'm not in your head. I said what I meant.
You in your head. That's what I'm trying to figure out. It ain't traveling.
Exactly. If somebody would have said to me that you would have had a bunch of store chains, I'd have been like, well, if one of them was the.
I would have liked some store chains. I worked in our family did have store chains, and for those who don't know, so I'm black. Obviously, I'm black, right? But my parents are mixed. My dad is black and Indian. Y'all like that? That's the same thing. Anyway, my dad's black and Indian. Okay, 25% European. And what'd you say?
India, like red dot India, or India is
Cherokee,
Native American.
The Cherokee stuff.
That's Native American.
But whatever, it's something in there. Okay, three things. My mama is Spanish and Indian. Okay, so at the end of the day, I'm black. But that ain't what he meant. He meant, you know what he meant when he was saying, I thought you married African. You know what
we're gonna get her saved next episode. Y'all stick around, okay?
We girl on this channel, so if you don't like that.
I'm very direct.
And it's all love. We just laughing about it because it's funny.
I'm very direct, and sometimes my directness can be considered blunt, and a lot of times that's what.
So can mine.
Well, but I mean, yours is different. You actually have a comedic aspect of it. Like I'll say it and have straight face, and people won't.
Yeah, but now if you read the text, you may not say it. You'd be like, I know she didn't say that. But really, that's too why I try not to leave text messages so much.
Yeah.
Because
that is point 4.
Yeah, because people that know me, they know like she's a serious person, but she's very funny, and they would know how I said it. You know what I mean? Versus a person who doesn't know you, and depending on when you text that person, if something happened that day, they read it how they're feeling, which could come across however. So that's the next tip: don't have an argument through text.
No.
Don't do that. Have an argument if you're dating, have an argument at his house, because if anything breaks, let me stop. But
let him break his own stuff and you
break
leave,
his own stuff and you go back home in your house. But anyway, seriously though.
I think that's a big point, because a lot now with it being so technical as far as the world is going, a lot of times we're having arguments in different ways than you can really decipher how a person is coming across. So when you're reading stuff via text, it's filtered through your mood and your personality and whether or not you know the person and how they're intentional.
Sorry, that's my cousin Leah. That's what I'm saying about. Oh my God.
I'm gonna need you not to scream.
Oh, sorry. I love you. Okay.
She took my whole swag. All right. So
anyway, I'm like, who is that? We got to talk, girl.
So the point of what we were talking about is, at the end of the day, relationship has got to be the first priority, not necessarily your point or your
keep the relationship, value the relationship. That's the point.
That's right.
Value it. The day that you lose the value of the relationship, that's really when it's starting to go downhill. It's not that whole thing. People say, "Oh, I fell out of love by this and that." No, you fell out of value. You stopped valuing them. You stopped because you was valuing them when, hopefully they were when you were dating.
That scripture when they talk about scripture where it talks about revisit the things of your youth, or it talks about the earlier things, going back and rekindling when you want to rekindle love.
The scripture about giving my money?
Huh?
What?
No,
I'm showing my money.
Brother Stu, he said, "Thou better have my money."
Thou better have my money today.
Tuesday. You got my money? No.
Tuesday at 5.
No. All right. Have my money by Thursday. Okay.
No. What scripture?
So there's a scripture that talks about, and they typically use, like if you Google it from online, there's a scripture that talks about going back and revisiting the things of your youth.
Right.
And what that basically means is rekindling the desire that you had when you first fell in love with whoever the person was.
Right.
So when you spend more time with each other, there's a lot of eye-opening experiences. I'll use it in that term.
Yeah, I like to have less of those times with him.
What?
Nothing. What?
Eye-opening experiences?
No, I spent some time with you.
What?
I spent only some time with you. You're a little clingy.
I'm very clingy. That's a good thing. If I wasn't clinging to you.
No, I spent some time with you. I think too much time with one person is too much. I do. We might not agree on that, but I do. You need a balance of your time.
We got kids. We don't spend all our time together.
Yeah, Muppet Babies is a lot of my time, but Muppet, that's a lot of my time.
Muppet Babies.
But no, seriously, like
hey, jingle jangle.
No, it's just really unhealthy to be around one person all the time.
Well, that was
you can't even miss them because you're around them all the time.
No, but that brings us to the other part of the relationship.
You do that. So. You leave the house and then you be like, "I miss you." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And he'd be like, "You don't miss me?" I'd be like, "Not yet." Like you just left.
Well,
I still love you though.
The other part of relationship is the threefold, where you have somebody that's pouring into you, somebody that's your counterpart, not necessarily a spouse, but somebody that's on the same level, peer level, and then you have somebody that you're mentoring. So, in many ways, a lot of the couples that came up after and got married after we did, or were looking at getting married after we did, they drew from us and asked us about our relationship and, tips and tricks. And I think a lot of the stuff we share.
We're not experts. We're still growing a lot.
We're not.
But we're just sharing our stories and experiences and giving you some tips that's helped us along the way.
Yeah. And if you've been married and you've had a successful run, if there's other tips that you think that people would definitely benefit from, please feel free to share them in the comment section.
Definitely. And let me say this. I do love spending time with you, but I also like when you watch me walk away.
Agreed.
Not really. You got to give each other time to miss each other.
Yeah, not too much though.
Yeah, and this time in quarantine, my vacations are like to the bathroom. He's in the living room, and I'm not really away that long, really.
Well, my away time is when I finish work and go work some more. And then, let's talk about that respect. Yes, facts. There is never a point where the relationship should go below respecting each other.
Yeah.
No matter how difficult it gets or how hurt you are, you can't allow the feeling that you have to overshadow that particular person is the person you chose. You know, it's not, you can't blame your parents for making a decision. You can't blame your kids for making a decision. This is the person you chose based on the criteria. And I use that loosely. The criteria
I was under the
that you
influence, but I
set.
still stand by my decision.
Under the influence.
No, I'm just playing.
What was you under the influence
I'm joking.
of? I'm like, wait a minute.
I'm joking. No, I love my decision. I made a really good choice. Like, I love my man. I do.
Love you too. And it's been a fun road. I think we talked a little bit.
I love our road. It's like a little roller coaster. It's like one of them little baby ones. It's not the ones when you gotta hold your stomach like, when you go down number. Yeah, not one of the throw ones like a little baby one. Just a little up and down sometimes. Everything sound right. But you know what I'm saying? The little teeny one, the little, hurt your stomach. Like we navigating really well. I like it. Well, and I know it's challenges coming up because next year when I turn to it's gonna be for a while. It's gonna be different.
Oh, that's when the
No, you don't know what's gonna happen with me because everybody's different.
Yeah, this is true.
But what I do know is no matter what happens with me, he's ride or die.
I think you knew that from the moment
I thought you were nice.
No, I'm.
No, he's nice, but I didn't know he had like this other side. He has a very what's the word? If I had to describe you, I would say warrior. I didn't know he was a warrior. One, because he was short when I met him. I was looking down at him. I literally watched him grow up and get taller. I thought he was a nice person, but I didn't know he was really a warrior. That's the word I'm gonna use to describe him. And as I've gotten to know him over the last 17 years, can you believe it's 17 years, almost 18 years? Mm-hmm. I'm like, dang, he's really a warrior. Like all these other things about him, as he grows, he doesn't. And he's very strong. And if you met him when I met him long ago, he looked like this sweet, innocent person. Not that he's not sweet, not that he's not innocent, but I didn't know that kind of warrior was who I was getting. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, but the nature of how I am as an individual, because our last name means warrior.
Yeah, she said if you lose respect, it starts to go downhill.
Yep, yeah, fast. That's true. Very fast. That's a good comment. So the when you understand the nature of how your spouse is as an individual, then what it does is it puts you in light to be able to work with that person. Because if you have somebody that doesn't quit, then you have to be willing to understand that this person's not going to give up. So the best thing you can do is encourage them to find a way to make it through.
Right.
And not to get discouraged or not to get frustrated with the process. And I think, without sharing a lot of personal stories, one thing that Sean has been very, very good at is making sure that even when things get challenging, that my focus stays on completion.
Oh, yeah, because that's a big deal to me.
It's a big thing with me too. Making sure that whatever I started is done. And I think the issue a lot of times with us has been, especially with our kids, all three of our kids are very strong-willed. And she knew that as far as
they get that from.
A prophecy that
from
she
both
had gotten.
Of us.
But the benefit of that is that when they have a challenge that comes up, we know that they're not just going to walk away from it.
No, they're warriors too. I think we're both warriors. And that's, that's really, really cool. So, yeah.
So we shared quite a bit of information today. Yeah. I think, what you think? You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I'm sorry for the people on Instagram that try to tune in. I don't know what Instagram is going on.
Grams ain't instant today.
It ain't instant.
So
thank you to everybody who chimed in on YouTube. Make sure that you share this channel. People can really benefit from it. There's videos that are pre-recorded. There's these lives that we're starting to do on Saturdays now because we kind of like that feel too as well. We'll be back with you guys again next Saturday. And if you have any comments or any suggestions on things that you want to specifically hear about, we're pretty open, really. So go ahead. You can leave that in the comment section below and make sure you share our channel and subscribe. Yeah, hit that notification bell.
Bang our line.
Yeah.
And, wait, I'm gonna share. So one of the homies hit me and was talking about the the home buyer episode that we talked about.
Oh yeah, you gotta check that out.
Yeah. If y'all haven't seen it, go check that out. It's
like 3-part series.
Yeah, but we talked about some of the challenges. So, as a backstory, obviously everybody wants to have their own residence, and so we talked a little bit about some of the horrors that happened with home ownership and some of the challenges with shiesty contractors,
Mhm.
and how in some cases the institutions that you trust to have your back may not necessarily be keeping accurate records or really have your back at the end of
Yeah.
it. So definitely check those out.
Yeah, check that out because right now, and we're not real estate agents. This ain't no promo,
Nope.
but it's just a fact. Like real estate is one of the industries that's popping right now, and so is food. Like those are the two things that's popping right now during pandemic. And what else?
Marijuana.
Yeah, but we ain't talking about the but
Lots
yeah.
of popping over there. There's a lot of new
Yeah,
dispensaries
there's
and
a lot of
groceries.
dispensaries and groceries.
So
and all
what-
that. I don't consume it, but
I don't consume it either. But
those are the things that people are doing.
investment wise, it is a very new field that a lot of people are getting into because it has residuals that is similar to like cryptocurrency and things like that. So it's a new, relatively uncontrolled market, if I can use that term. And
Yeah, we're not telling you to go do these things. We're just telling you what is
financially what people are getting
seems
into.
what people are doing these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do whatever you choose to do. But like
Make
I said,
wise investments.
make wise investments. I know a lot of people are saving, but people are also buying things. And so I think there's like a lot of deals on like apartments and houses and everything going on right now in the market.
It's a seller's market right now.
Yeah, so check out those 3 episodes. It might be something of value in there for you.
Yep. If you're looking to upgrade your residence or you want to go ahead and get, your dream vacation home, rates are extremely low right now. I don't know how much longer that's going to stay, but with the rates being low, it allows for a lot more people to get qualified for more money. So
no, we're not realtors. We do have 2 that we know. So you
more
can
than
shop.
2.
I have 2 that I know specifically. I have Lauren, who's in Maryland, and Tamila, who's in PA.
Yep.
Those I actually know them, and I know that they will do right by you.
That's right.
And so that's what I'm saying.
And we go way
I don't
back
know
with
if
both of them.
Yes, I know that they'll do right by you. So if that's something that you want more information, like I said, I don't do it specifically, but I can refer you to somebody who's pretty good.
And the truth of the matter is, because we both are very diligent on what we do business wise, we don't have a lot of people in our circle that are not about their business. We'll use that term.
Yeah.
So if this is something, if there's something in any of our episodes that intrigues you and you want to kind of, send us a message or whatever, we definitely read all the comments. We check in between what messages. But yeah, let us know and we will share some additional content.
Definitely, we're going to share everything. We're going to share our bad experiences, our good experiences, all these things, because if you're a human that's living on this earth, you're going to experience some of all of it, unfortunately. So thanks for tuning in with Life with the Stones, and don't forget to subscribe. And thanks everybody for watching. And Leah, make sure you call me. And thanks, Lynette, I'm going to call you too. And hey, Priscilla and my auntie Kim, I saw them on here. Awesome. All right, well, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.